Hello, thank you very much for joining me today to answer a question. And when I go to my very epic notebook of knowledge, I see that the question reads, who the hey is Giovanni? This specific question was asked by Super Saiyan 64, so gamer question, gamer username, game video. Let's go. So in terms of a very basic answer and description for this question, just in case you get nothing else from this video, Giovanni is kind of like a main antagonist throughout the Pokemon series / franchise in general. Typically what his role is whenever you see him or hear of him in the franchise is that he is the boss of Team Rocket and Rainbow Rocket, which are like the big bad Pokemon groups in Pokemon. But in general, whenever he pops up, whether that's in person or he's like talking through a screen, usually his role is to like give messages or missions to his grunts, like the people who work for him. Otherwise, you'll see him kind of battling other Pokemon trainers in a Pokemon gym. Throughout this video, I kind of wanted to just give some like general background details about this character because I'm not someone who's very familiar with Pokemon in general, so I kind of just learned the small things and I would like to share those with you. Starting with one of the smaller facts that I actually probably enjoy the most out of all the information I got. His actual name is kind of a joke within itself. It's Giovanni, but the prefix of it is Geo, which kind of means like earth or ground, and he is an actual like ground type Pokemon trainer. So if someone made the actual decision to do that, props to them. I would like to give them like a firm, friendly handshake. I love that. Aside from like the earth kind of ground type pun there, it's kind of just like a mafia, like gang boss leader type feel of a name, so it makes sense. Moving on to the physical and kind of visual descriptions of this character, if you're talking specifically about the sprites, at least the older ones anyways, those are like black and yellow, so pretty simple colors. But if you're referencing stuff, whether it be like the movies, the shows, what have you, usually Giovanni is like this middle-aged guy with like short black or brown hair, depends on what you're looking at. He also kind of tends to wear like a black jacket, suit, formal attire. Sometimes he wears a hat or like a tie, just like a dude who may or may not try to threaten you into giving him your Pokemon. Like, that's how it goes. If you would like to get to know Giovanni, all you really gotta know about his personality is that for the most part, he's this like antagonist boss guy that his main goal really is just to use Pokemon for their power. He doesn't really appreciate like the companionship that's there. Like, he does not care about that at all. In general, he's relatively serious. Like, there's no haha funny jokes that you hear from him in the franchise like ever. He's pretty selfish in terms of like trying to get power through Pokemon, but he also has like a sense of like being a coward at times, which I'll kind of explain. Moving on to like the occupational kind of job sort of thing, I already kind of said it, but he's like the main boss leader for Team Rocket and Rainbow Rocket. Like, he's the head honcho that everyone kind of just has to follow. I think that did rhyme. Let's go. And I already kind of mentioned this, but because he's like an earth/ground Pokemon kind of person, he uses that to his advantage to be like the Viridian City gym leader by holding the earth badge, so he's pretty good at it. Which to me personally doesn't really make that much sense to have kind of like a Pokemon antagonist be the leader of a gym, but hey, I don't know. Very briefly, I did want to also include kind of like the timeline of things he's been in the Pokemon franchise, which started with Pokemon Red and Green in 1996. So if you want to see like kind of the evolution of where he started and where he's at now, that would be the first one. You've got him in stuff like Pokemon Go, which was in like 2016. That does not sound right. That's really weird. He's pretty much in a majority of the franchise, all the way up to like Ultra Sun and Moon, which was in like 2017. So he's in there quite a bit if you look for him. He's not like in every single episode or like whatever you see him in, but he's there. Specifically, I think he's in like 7 out of the 8 different Pokemon generations, which feels like a lot. I don't think it actually is, but it's quite a bit of like a prominent role in general. Almost last, but certainly not least, I've said how he's like a ground type Pokemon person, and specifically some of the Pokemon he uses, whether that's in like the gym or in general, he uses like an Onix, he has a Rhyhorn, some different evolutions of Nidorino, he has a Dugtrio, which I think is funny. Anytime I see that Pokemon, it just makes me laugh. It looks really funny. He also has a Persian, which I feel like kind of adds and contributes to the mafia boss, like leader kind of atmosphere and look, but it's not a bad look. I think Persian is also a pretty cool Pokemon. In terms of like his villainry antagonist levels, I don't feel like he's the worst kind of character or the best for that. I mean, Team Rocket isn't the greatest, although I know Jesse and James try so hard. I love them. I do appreciate the Mafia boss design. I'm always someone who really enjoys those kind of characters. Like, I've been watching Peaky Blinders recently and they all look so cool. I know what they do isn't really that cool. It's not like, yay, they're doing great things, but it's a cool look. Like, I'm into that. It's cool. I said that I would talk about this earlier, but part of Giovanni's like general history in the franchise is that when things go bad, he kind of runs away and tries to like make things better or get them to where they were whenever he gets to a new location. So in terms of him being cowardly, that's pretty big in terms of how he handles things. Which, I mean, I guess when you hit like the bottom, all you can really do is go back to the top, so it works, I guess. But that's the very basic and very general answer to the question. Of course, I'll have links to the information I got in the description, so if you want to check any of that out, feel free. If you have any general like anger issues or anything you want to say about Giovanni, feel free to do those in the comments. But that's essentially the answer, so thank you very much for watching. Bye.